Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be much cooler with highs in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Sunny for Tuesday with highs in the mid 60s to mid 70s. Clear skies tomorrow night. Areas of frost in the north. Lows in the mid 30s to near 40. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Say goodbye. Darren McFadden, 80 yards, touchdown.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, Cowboy?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hawks.
I've been wrong before, and I've been wrong again, and I'll be wrong again. But I got a feeling Arkansas is going to kick the crap at LSU this coming Saturday night in Fayetteville. I really do. I know LSU opened as a 2.5-point favorite as they travel to Fayetteville this weekend. I know this game the last 4 years has been decided by field goal each and every time. But I truly believe Arkansas is going to win this game by 2 touchdowns on Saturday night. That's not fodder. That's not bluster. But it is a hot take here on a Hot Take Monday. It's always brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. They've got their Brinkley RVs. They've got Grand Design, Forest River, and specifically in the Brinkley category, they have the Brinkley Model Z, which is the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, a new RV comes with a lifetime warranty. So whether it's Chris, Lee J, any of their team members there, they're going to take care of you with confidence. And you're going to be confident because you're going to be driving away in a new RV thinking, I got a lifetime warranty on this thing. Stop it and see why Wheels RV has been voted the best RV dealer year after year. 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover for Wheels RV. Hey, what a great day, right? You get back in the rhythm. So I always stay up way too late on weekends. It happens. I am very stringent. You can ask Tommy. You can ask any of my coworkers. I go to bed religiously around 8:30 each night during the week. I'm still up early because I'm helping out with Chuck and Bo's show. And then I got back into rhythm. It was kind of off this weekend, right? because there wasn't Arkansas football that I game plan around, whether it was Arkansas game day, which we're going to be live at the Stadium Shop this weekend, or whether it's just specifically deciding, hey, what is going to dictate my schedule? Well, it's Arkansas football. There was Arkansas basketball stuff this weekend, which we'll get in with Kevin McPherson about in just one bit. He was both in Hot Springs and in Pine Bluff for those events, which is pretty cool. Great events, by the way. We're going to hear from John Calipari coming up momentarily, but it is nice. So I went to bed 10 on Friday, 12:30 on Saturday, and woke up at 3 a.m. this morning and just sat there on my couch because I was washing my sheets and didn't sleep on my bed because I'm in the midst of washing my sheets during the night and could not fall back asleep. So I was up by 3:15, getting some stuff around the house done. Hey, we've got a game this week, and really, it's going to be a good one. You've got a marquee broadcast, ESPN, 6 o'clock. Cannot wait to see what the Arkansas Razorbacks do against the LSU Tigers. And I want you to think about this as we continue on the next 2 hours here. Big C and me, Tommy is with the rest of our staff at the not ABC convention, good grief, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association convention in Hot Springs. I don't know if you as a listener are fans of different events, if you like going to different conventions or whatever. I've enjoyed them on the radio side of things or getting to meet new people and network. Some of you like the free food, the free drinks. Some of you hate traveling, and I don't blame you. Some of you just like to be at home. You like to be with your wife. You like to be with your kids. You like to be with your husband. You like to be with your family, and you don't really like to travel outside of wherever you live. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's going to be B and Big C for the next 2 days here. Big C, are you a fan of conferences? Do you like these different things?
Of conferences? I know it's good as far as like it's a little less strenuous from a regular work week, but
at the same time, you're sitting there all day listening to different
it's
seminars and all this stuff.
It's
and
not
they're
really
going to learn.
fun.
And I'm not dogging the Arkansas Broadcasters Convention, but I know for some, like that would actually be entertaining to me. Tommy and I mutually decided on Friday, hey, it might be better if I stay here, make sure everything goes back. Tommy can't keep the lights on without me. I know he loves to say that, but it just varies on what category you're in. Like real estate seminars don't sound that entertaining to me. Radio, I love the history of radio. I love learning about sports radio. I love learning how we can make ESPN Arkansas better. But there's some lines of work that you all are listening in right now and that you all partake in as employees of wherever you work, or maybe you're an owner or whatever, that aren't fun. And so I understand when you tell me, hey, I don't like this. I don't like going to things like this, which I guess it just varies by category, Big C.
Usually it's paid for, and usually you get some time to kind of explore the city you're in, and that's always fun.
Yeah, it just varies on, again, there's some cities you want to go to. Hot Springs, a great city. There's other cities across the United States that don't exactly have the best convention. By the way, the team was in Hot Springs last night, and they stopped by Longhorn Steakhouse. Really appreciate them being sponsors of ESPN 96.3. It's the chicken fried steak, the lemon garlic chicken, cowboy pork chops. I don't know what Tommy, Jeff, and the rest of the team got, but they also have a great half-pound steakhouse cheeseburger as well. Plus, on Saturdays, you get one free appetizer per table with the purchase of an adult entree exclusively at the Longhorn Steakhouse Hot Springs location. All right, Kevin McPherson coming up, but we got to get to our opening drive.
There's a game Saturday night in the Hub Pound, and nothing gets my blood pumping than a game against the Bengals up that room. Nussmeier goes back. Shoulder. Touchdown.
Watch out. He's gone. I think. Gets a great block and goes 73 yards.
LSU hate week for me, man. And I think the thing that bothers me the most is LSU as a whole, they don't take Arkansas seriously.
Hopefully it gives the people throughout the state a chance to see who they are and then what the program's about, just reaching out into the community.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So there's a couple highlights there. Old D-Mac highlight from 2006. Unfortunately, Arkansas lost that game. The LSU win this weekend over Ole Miss. Great college football game on Saturday night, as was the one in Eugene, Oregon. You also had a couple calls this morning on Chuck and Bo. You heard from Jimmy and Conway and Eddie. They're fired up for this weekend. Why wouldn't you be? LSU's coming in as a top 10 team. Y'all, this is amazing. First time that you've had two teams in Fayetteville, Arkansas consecutively in the top 10 that you played back-to-back. It's happened when you've gone to Little Rock or you've gone on the road. First time, though, in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium that you've had back-to-back top 10 teams.
When's the last time we played LSU in Fayetteville at night? It just seems like it's been quite a while to me. And it gives the
maybe 2014.
Yeah.
I know you won that game. 2016, I think you lost to Darius Geis and company.
That's
but
right. It hasn't been like super often.
Yeah, but you take it either way. When you take a conversation with Kev McPherson, we'll ask some basketball questions with Kev in our conversation coming up. But really, Kevin, our opening drive was predicated around football. Massive games this weekend in college, and we got plenty of basketball. But what do you think about the college football slate this weekend, man?
Well, it's just an interesting landscape. You've got a lot of close overtime games. You see that Georgia and Alabama, they had that big battle a few weeks ago, and you know, Alabama gets the big lead, Georgia comes back, Alabama finds a way to win. And neither one of those teams, at least Alabama, since then has struggled. We know the historic loss to Vanderbilt, 2-point win, struggle with South Carolina. It shows you how tough the SEC is. I felt like this Georgia team's not quite what it's been in recent years, although it's a very good team. By the way, back in the top 5 in the latest polls, but you know, Mississippi State maybe not that good, a 10-point win at home for the Bulldogs, for the Georgia Bulldogs, that is. And then around the country, I mean, the Ohio State, Oregon matchup, you're seeing those weird cross-country games. It's still getting used to that with the old Pac-12 schools in the Big Ten now. And what a game that was. How about Penn State and USC, a team that was a top 10 team, speaking of top 10 teams, to start the year, and knocked off the only loss for this LSU team in the first week, I guess, that's coming in to play Arkansas this weekend. Now LSU back in the top 10 at number 8. So I thought it was a wild weekend, a lot of close games. And you start looking at the pecking order in the SEC, some of the teams that we thought were going to be, you know, just super strong and hard to beat. At some point when they play each other, you'll find out who's better. But at the end of the day, the only team that's really been dominating is Texas, and they have Arkansas. And you talk about a top 10 teams back-to-back weekends in Fayetteville, you're going to have at least a third one later on down the road in November, probably, in Texas at that point, at Reynolds Razorback Stadium.
I got them losing to Georgia this weekend, but we can spend some more time on that later. Kevin, you mentioned Lincoln Riley in USC. I'd like to tie that back into an SEC institution, being in Oxford, Mississippi, and Ole Miss. I thought Lane Kiffin was heading to Florida before in the offseason. I don't see a focused Lane Kiffin. Their offense has not been anywhere near. I mean, they had so many pieces in the offseason. Their defense has been the one that's kind of holding them in games. Like against Kentucky, against LSU, is their defense that stayed intact. Do you think Lane Kiffin's mind is elsewhere, and could you see him leaving for Gainesville after this year?
Well, I hate to already, interject basketball, but I'm getting Eric Patrick Musman vibes here. Yeah, I think we saw it in Arkansas's basketball season last year, and that might be true. What you're saying is something that does come to mind when you watch this Ole Miss team, especially like you said, offensively. And you know, it has been their defense that's kept them in games, and their offense has sputtered.
See, bring up first off, 5 years Muss coached here. Never knew his middle name. Thank you for sharing that, Kevin. As we're talking with Kevin McPherson, Pig Trail Nation this morning. Kevin, you took in Arkansas basketball this weekend in Hot Springs and Pine Bluff, and I know you got plenty of video from John Calipari. A lot of legends also there in attendance, as well as Razorback fans. What was that experience like in Pine Bluff and Hot Springs this weekend?
I thought it was great. You know, I'm a basketball junkie. And so, I didn't need a full-on intra-squad scrimmage like we're used to. I like the practice setting, actually. I actually preferred it because I got to see what kind of drills they run on a day-to-day basis. He talks so much in the press conferences that we have about playing with pace on offense and sharing the ball. 1 and 2, playing fast with pace and then sharing the ball. And then you saw the drills they have that actually help players learn how to do that. And so they put their money where their mouth is as far as I'm concerned. And then just the talent level. We had 3 guys out, not going. Nelly Davis, Jonas Adu, and Adu Thiero. Adu and Thiero both went through very limited shell work, nothing competitive. Nellie Davis didn't do any of it. So you had effectively 3 starters out of your top 9 rotation that didn't practice either day, really. But the guys that were out there, you understand why 1 through 9, this is a highly regarded roster when it was assembled, including the return of Trevor Brazile, who I thought, based on what we saw, man, he looks stronger, bigger. He's added good weight, especially in the upper body. He's more aggressive. And it's we've seen him shine in certain games and then dealing with injuries and whatever else, not be consistent. If he's consistent in what he did both Saturday and Sunday, because I was at both events, Arkansas's got an X factor in Trevor Brazile and his coming into his 3rd season as a Razorback.
And he's the only known commodity, right? Razorback fans might have watched DJ Wagner. You might have heard of John L. Davis from 2 years ago on FAU. But, Kev, he's the only guy that most fans have actually watched in person and taken in multiple games.
I agree. And to the extent that he's a known commodity, in 2 years he played a total of 35 games at Arkansas. And many of those you could tell he just wasn't fully himself last year. You could just tell he wasn't the same guy that we saw pre-injury those first 8 or 9 games he played 2 years ago, and then that was it after the knee injury. So to the extent that he's even a known commodity, I think there are qualities about him now, I mentioned it, that will make him maybe surprise some folks. And we got to see how it actually plays out against live bullets and in live action against other teams. But right now what I saw, probably him and Boogie Fland, if I'm going to throw another name in there from these 2 events, probably stood out to me the most based on what they bring to the court and how consistent they were delivering it. Even in a practice setting, you watch guys, you can tell the ones that are consistently doing what they're asked and then they're executing. And most of the guys had their moments, but I thought those 2 were probably the most consistent and the most that opened my eyes based on also their talent and just what they can bring to the court. Just based on a talent standpoint.
A couple guys banged up, Kev, and I know Cal addressed that a little bit in the post-game press conference. Is that a little worrisome due to the fact that you only got 9 guys that he's been preaching on this? That's one of my concerns heading into this season. I know in theory that idea sounds good, but SEC ball takes a toll on you. And is that a concern in the offseason and they're already dealing with stuff like this?
Well, I always said it was a concern for me. Not that it's not a reality that when you get into your season, you're going to go about 8 or 9 deep. Some coaches will stretch it to 10. So is there really do you really need impact quality players in your 9, 10 through 13 on your roster? But the problem becomes, even if you get in walk-on types and use GAs for practice, if you have attrition in your season, it changes who you are and what you're able to do. So I agree with you there. I even asked Calipari last night, just for this Kansas game, now 11 days out, the exhibition game, that's a big one. Are the guys that didn't participate, are they getting so close to where they'll all 3 be ready? And he said he wasn't sure yet. He certainly wasn't going to, if they aren't ready, use them at the expense of, for a chance to maybe beat Kansas in an exhibition game. So I think even in the exhibition season, there are question marks about their full availability. 11 days till that game. You go 9 deep in your two deep rotation, and 3 guys that we didn't really see too much this weekend. And we know we saw the photo when Nolan was in there a few weeks ago, and you had all of your big men in boots except for Trevor Brazile.
Yeah.
Adu Thiero I look at more as a wing, but he'll be a 3-4 combo. He'll help Arkansas on the front line as well. So if you count him, they go 4 deep there. That's the one position they really can't afford much, if any, attrition, whether it's foul trouble or injuries when they get into their season.
Let's come back to what's happening in Fayetteville this weekend. Kev McPherson, our guest, Big Trail Nation. Kev, used to have this game in Little Rock every year, Friday after Thanksgiving. LSU's changed a little different. Christian asked a good question. When's the last time you played LSU at night? You've had a couple of games like this recently in Fayetteville. They're 2.5-point underdogs. I'm speaking to the Hogs right now as they head into this home football game. With LSU winning, being inside the top 10, how big of a game are we going to see on Saturday night? I think Arkansas is going to win by 2 touchdowns, man. What's your early feel on a Monday this week?
I don't know that I have a score prediction like that or a spread, but I'll tell you, I think Arkansas not only can win this game, but will win this game. I think the defense has been really, really good. all things considered, they played away from home a lot. I think
point.
getting back home, getting some momentum, then you got a week off because guys were banged up. Here's the other thing I think. It's interesting. The offense has had trouble scoring because of self-inflicted wounds, but what the offense has done is move the ball. And they've had a lot of from the movement from flipping field position from between the 20s. And in a way that helps your defense because it keeps the other team's offense off the field. And so even as problematic as some of the Arkansas's problems on offense has been, it's been good enough to actually aid in the defense, being a little fresher, not being on the field as much as we've seen in recent years. And in some of these close games, I felt like the difference has been Arkansas's just not been able to keep its defense fresh enough. And I think maybe, just maybe, we'll continue to see a defense that impresses. I think it's been really good on that side of the ball. I think the offense has been pretty good, scoring not so much. And we know Arkansas, when they do drive, they have a problem with field goals in terms of whether they should kick one, and then I guess the percentage and the efficiency on that. But then turnovers or a fumbled shotgun snap that gets them way behind the chains and they can't convert. Then now they're in no man's land. You add it all up, it's probably why you don't see many points. But I think it might be a low-scoring game, and I think Arkansas's defense will be the best one, and Arkansas is going to win.
Kev, we'll leave it there, man. We appreciate you giving us an insight on what happened in Hot Springs and Pine Bluff this weekend. Big game in Fayetteville. Can't wait to watch what the Hogs and Tigers do in Donald W. on Saturday night. We appreciate your time this morning.
Good to be with you guys. Thank you.
All right, that is Kevin McPherson with Pick Trail Nation. He's part of our opening drive brought to you by our friends at First Financial Mortgage. I was actually texting Ethan just this past week. Listen, I can text Ethan about golf, sports, parties, whatever the case may be. But when it comes down to it, he's about as knowledgeable as it gets on the mortgage industry. And it's not just me that would tell that. Just go to First Financial Mortgage, Fort Smith's Google reviews. Ethan has done a fabulous job with his team. Emily, that whole squad have been phenomenal. 4.9 out of 5. He's the best lender in town, might be the best golfer too. So if you're in the market of buying a house, refinancing, or you just have questions, give Ethan a call. He was my mortgage lender, and he could be yours too. 479-782-9300, or go online to ffb1.com. That's ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. Christian, I'm going to give you an opportunity. We can avoid your favorite professional team altogether entirely, or for the next hour and 40 minutes, we can make fun of them. This is your team. This is not my team.
I mean,
you dictate what we're going to do involving the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm kind of past the point of hurt. At this point, something has to change. So if we need to air it all out, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's just air it out.
I need a hot take from you on the Dallas Cowboys. And if any of you have a hot take on the Dallas Cowboys, you can jump in here as well at 877-377-6963. So we kind of got into the show today on the opening drive. I'm going to give an overall view of what's happening today. We've joked about conferences. A lot of our team, again, at the Arkansas Broadcasters Association Conference in Hot Springs, sure they're having a great time there. Get to what John Calipari had to say. This Saturday, we need the Arkansas Athletics Department to step up. I saw some great venues. I saw some great stuff this weekend across college football. We need to be on the best display possible this weekend. I'm going to give a couple things that I want to get into. Mentioned college football, some awesome games this weekend. Hopefully you won some money, and we've got some hot takes to get to as well. Clay Henry's going to be along at 10:30. Our buddy Chris Phillips is going to be along at 10 o'clock. I mentioned Arkansas, 2.5-point underdog right now on the Bet Saracen app. Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Maybe you want to make a wager. Maybe you're hammering the Hogs money line this weekend. Maybe it's an NFL team you really like. Bet Saracen is the place to go. College football, NFL, MLB playoffs, whatever you're looking for, you can find it on the Bet Saracen app. They also have a lot of prop bets involving Arkansas sports. More Than Morning Rush, your Hog Update is next.
Brad in Salesville wants to know if you've ever been chased by two cougars at night.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times.
Plenty meaning zero,
Plenty of
Brad.
times.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craig.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page brand.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hoghats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Arkansas, 2.5 underdog against 2.5-1 underdog, I should say, against the LSU Tigers this Saturday night. LSU comes in number 8 in the AP poll. Arkansas, by the way, got 13 votes right out on Saturday against the Tigers. Cannot wait for that matchup in Razorback Stadium. We're going to be live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, also by Sawyer's Sunrooms this coming Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock. So make sure if you're coming up for the game that you take it in all. You stop by, see Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt, and you take in a great game come Saturday night, 6 o'clock on ESPN. And always right here, you can listen to Chuck, Quinn, and Gino on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Other teams that won this weekend, soccer team won on the road. Arkansas volleyball defeated Alabama. Soccer team beat Oklahoma. And Hunter Henry caught a touchdown from new starter Drake May.
First and goal. Good block, Jacobs. That's a touchdown. Hunter Henry grabs a second touchdown pass thrown by Drake May.
There's problems in New England. I feel bad for Gerard Mayo, former Tennessee linebacker, having to figure things out. That offense is putrid, but Hunter still is kind of one of the bright spots on it, so hopefully he continues to roll. We mentioned the different events, the tip-off tour with Cal and company in Hot Springs and Pine Bluff. Here's what Cal had to say after the one of the scrimmages and more of the practices that he called it on the preseason rankings and scheduling tough early.
I've done this so long. I've had teams overrated. I've had them underrated. You know what you got to do? You can hype all you want. Eventually, you got to play the games. So whatever you think we are, I agree. You think we're awful? I agree. You think we're really good? I agree. Doesn't matter. What I will tell you is this team has only been together 5 months. Why do you think I put together a schedule of Kansas, at TCU, a hard Lipscomb game, Baylor, in Dallas? Why do you think I did that?
He did that so that the guys will go through some turmoil and goes through some turbulence and trials and tribulations, and that it'll help them come March in the SEC tournament and hopefully the NCAA tournament on that. This was cool. Here's the one thing I asked, Coach, because I know you're listening. Little tongue-in-cheek sarcasm there. Next year, let's get one of these suckers up in Mount Homer Harrison. Let's get another one in Fort Smith. We had Cecil calling Chuck and Bo earlier. Don't just make this a one-year thing. There are people, and I heard Z talking about, there were people that raised their hand that, first off, have never been to Bud Walton Arena, and second, are not season ticket holders that saw the team this weekend. Gave away like 5,000 shoes or something like that. I mean, this is an incredible event. Awesome for Cal and company. Get this done. Let's keep it rolling. Next year, let's just go across the state. Let's go to
Southeast Arkansas.
Yeah,
Monticello.
Go to El Dorado. I mean, just go to a place that can obviously house the team in the sense I'm talking about from an arena standpoint. And Arkansas fans, I promise you, will be there for that. All right, that is your Hog Update. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
By the way, the LSU game, it's homecoming this weekend. So you'll have a lot of friends and family that were already attending this game. And now it's a 6 o'clock night game on ESPN. Maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe what's tailgating? You want to see the team run through the A. Maybe you just want to see them in Razorback Stadium. Well, you can go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com. If you want to buy tickets, I don't think there's that many tickets left, y'all. I think they're going to have more of a crowd than what we saw against Tennessee. I really do. One, because you hate LSU more than you hate Tennessee. At least most of you do. And not that Tennessee won the fourth best team in the country, but I truly believe that a lot of Arkansas fans feel confident that they're going to beat the LSU Tigers come Saturday night. And I think a lot of that had to do with not just the rivalry that has gone back and forth over the years, but I think they were helped in LSU's emotional win. We'll find out on Saturday night, but that's how I feel right now. I think Arkansas wins that game, and I'm not just saying that. I really do think they're going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. All right, Christian, you got a minute. Laying in them Cowboys here on a Hot Take Monday.
What a pitiful, disgusting performance. It starts at the top, okay? And Jerry, he's weak. He's too old to be an owner. I mean, I knew he wasn't serious about winning when he brought Zeke Elliott back. Zeke is too old. He is not a good running back anymore. He's past his prime. And I'm going to get into all phases of the game because it was terrible yesterday. I mean, how do you lose that bad at home? What is the lifeless performance? You can't run the ball to save your life. You can't stop the run to save your life.
Montgomery, Gibbs,
and then
everyone.
You know, Dak, 9 points. Dak, no, he's not it.
How much y'all paying him again?
A lot,
50-something?
Way too much money. And Jerry, that was another terrible decision by you. You don't know what you're doing anymore. You don't care about winning, and you just blow a bunch of hot air. And it's
happy 82nd birthday, by the way, to Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I mean, you get what you deserve, man. It was just an all-around terrible performance. I mean, you can't do anything. I don't care that Parsons and Lawrence is out. I mean, you should never lose that bad at home. That was just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, that is a hot take here on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. Chris, Lee J, their entire team, they can help you out with RVs, Grand Design, Forest River, and the new Brinkley model. Come by and see them 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. When we return, we'll get into our Morning Rush Daily question coming up. We also have our Fence Man Friday picks coming up this Friday. I know that if we picked a Dallas Cowboy game, there'd be a lot of people picking against the Cowboys. Call Sean if you need any fence-related stuff. 479-782-3936. Residential, commercial, it doesn't matter. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is former Razorback Jalen Tate, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the Morning Rush.
We got to show them we are the University of Arkansas.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the...
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, every matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, and NBA to political props. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack, poke. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
At the Stadium Shop on Raceback this Saturday from 1 till 3.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com. Cart Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
I want to jump back into college football. There were some great games this weekend. The USC Trojans fell to Penn State at home, back and forth battle. The Illinois Fighting Illini squeaked it out against Purdue. The big games of the weekend, Oregon, Ohio State, where the Ducks got it done at home thanks to a Will Howard mishap. And then LSU finishes it in overtime. Kyron Lacey from Nussmeier in the end zone. Man, Texas beat the dog out of Oklahoma, didn't they? That was not much of a game. So here's your question here, Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Will Lane Kiffin be the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels after the season? 877-377-6963. I tend to think that Ole Miss is not done losing, and here's why. They've got Arkansas on the schedule, which Lane's never won in Fayetteville. They've got Georgia on the schedule. I don't really fear Mississippi State or Florida or Oklahoma. Man, when you like that down the stretch, if you're an Arkansas team, good.
Are you saying he's going to be fired? Or
No.
I didn't. They don't fire coaches.
Need to rephrase. I truly believe that he is well on his way to Gainesville, Florida. I've thought that way since the offseason. The defense really for Ole Miss has not been the problem. Their offense has. Jackson Dart is in his third season in that system. Doesn't look like the quarterback people are expecting him to be. They've got weapons everywhere. Juice Wells, Harris, Parrott, all these guys. And that should be an offense that scores at least 40 a game, even against good opponents, and they haven't done it. They offense let them down in the second half against LSU, let them down the entire game against Kentucky. I think Lane Kiffin's head is elsewhere, and I think he's heading to Florida after this season, Big C.
Yeah, I could definitely see it if they lose a couple more games. Either way, he may go because, Florida's not happy. They played Tennessee tough, but they still lost. They couldn't get it done. Ole Miss, their offense really didn't do great against LSU. That's a pretty average defense at best. I know it was on the road, and I know they never really play LSU great, but they just kind of choked that one away.
Yeah, it was bad. I think that Ole Miss is in trouble at least.
And I'm going to say something about Mississippi State.
They battled at least. Did you see Kirby Smart shove their quarterback? Did you see that video?
That was, I don't know how that wasn't,
Surprised we hadn't gotten a memo from the league office yet about that.
That was
trying to keep that under wraps or what?
I don't know, but I'm saying this. We've got LSU to worry about, but let's not sleep on Mississippi State. Their offense, they've got a pretty decent offense. Yep. They played against a pretty decent defense and put up 31. So
I don't know if Georgia's looking ahead to Texas this week.
That Van Buren guy was slinging it.
Yeah.
Slinging it.
That is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Christian, Nate, they'd love to see you this weekend if you can't make it to the LSU game, or you want to watch Thursday night football, or Sunday night football, or Sunday football, Monday night football, whatever the occasion, whether it's parties, whether it's tailgating, whether it is a non-football related event, they'd love to have you. If it's a baby shower, if it's a baby gender reveal, it doesn't matter. Cart Pass Social is a great place, not just for the avid golf fans, but if you just like somewhere to hang out. It's located in Lowell. You can check them out at cartpasssocial.com. Again, very easy to get to in Northwest Arkansas. And their social media, Haley and Nate do a great job with that social media if you just want to have some fun. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, Arkansas. Again, cartpasssocial.com, the number one golf destination, indoor golf destination, all of Arkansas. And again, these are not out-of-state kids. It's not just some like crazy franchise or corporate overlords. These are two Rogers, Arkansas kids, two buddies I went to college with that are really making something of themselves, unlike me. CartPassSocial.com. Cart Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun. All right, so let's talk about this weekend. LSU Tigers coming into town, top 10 team in the country. We've said it once. We'll say it again. We'll probably say it about a bajillion times this week. This is the first time in history that Arkansas football, according to Razorback Communications, will host a top 10 opponent in consecutive games in Fayetteville. The Golden Boot, one of the better rivalries in college football that's not as heralded as Michigan, Ohio State, or Auburn, Alabama. This is an awesome game for Arkansas fans. And Jimmy and Conway hit it on earlier this morning. LSU doesn't respect you. Their fans don't. Their fans didn't even care that we were down there last year. Now, they did have Jaden Daniels, who eventually won the Heisman Trophy, and Arkansas didn't look like they had much. But if you remember, it was a 3-point game, and LSU wanted it to tail in off a field goal, and unfortunately, Arkansas left the loser. Last 4 seasons has been decided by a field goal each and every time. This has been a really fun series over the years. Now, Arkansas has not always come out on the high side, which is a bummer. But you think about some of the great Razorback memories you have. 2002, Miracle on Markham. 2007, triple overtime, number 1 team in the country. 2008, Miracle on Markham 2. 2010, Mallet to Kobe Hamilton at the end of the half. 2011 looked like it was going to be great, up 14-0. And then the Honey Badger takes over in that one. 17-0 in 2014. Y'all, if you're watching our video live stream, I'm just reciting this from memory. I don't have notes or anything like that. These are just things that come to mind. 2015, when you kicked their tail, I think 31-14, when the late Alex Collins ran a rough shot over that LSU defense. It's been fun. Here's what I would ask. Not of you as a fan, but I think a lot of you will agree with what I'm about to say. The aesthetics did not look great against Tennessee. And what I mean by that, repaint the field, make sure that it looks good. It's ESPN. It didn't look that great on Saturday. And then I would also ask, as a guy that watched a lot of college football this weekend, we're going to get a chance to talk with Chris Phillips coming up in about 15 minutes. Chris has gone across the SEC, checked out all these different venues. He's a lot of times has been around for the upsets and stuff. I would ask the athletics department whether it's a light show, and I don't know if it's too late in the week to coordinate this or get this going, but if you watch the LSU game, how epic that was in Death Valley, and I just think, and I'm going to get some pushback on this, and that's okay. It's a Hot Take Monday. Our basketball facility is probably second or third in all of college football. All college basketball. Bud Walton, outside of maybe Allen Fieldhouse, you can put it at 2 or 3. It's consensus top 10, but I think you can go as far as top 3. Baseball, it's you and Mississippi State, right? It's the Dude and Baum Walker Stadium. Football's top 25. And I know there's been instances like Greg McElroy, who said it was the loudest it's ever been when he came in 2010. But we've got to, and I say we, the athletics department has to figure out a way, whether it's third down situations, whether it's quarters, whether it's in-game stuff to keep the crowd engaged and hype. I promise you, this fan base will do its part. You've got to do your part on this end. This is too big of a game to just have a solid showing. It needs to be epic. Like I said, the first time ever that you've had consecutive top 10 games in Fayetteville, you had a great fan, and the rushing the field and the Rocky Top and some of the stuff after was awesome. Let's take it to another level. If you're in, I don't care if you're watching on TV. I don't care if you're listening to it on the radio. I don't care if you're in attendance. I think a lot of you would agree with me on that. And I hope, whatever the case may be, that they figure it out come Saturday night, Big C.
Is this the biggest battle of the Golden Boot since we went down there, ranked number 3rd in the nation in 2011? I mean, it just feels like it's a big game. Like,
I think you were ranked in 2015 when you won that game.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to go that. I think that's a bridge too far because you're not ranked. But
right.
It is a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by our friends at Will's RV. So if that's your hot take, Big C, you go at it then.
It just has that feel. I mean, you just come off the heels of a big win. You feel like the season is still up for grabs. Everything's achievable, and LSU's 5-1. But yeah, I think it's a big game. You definitely want to. You want the fans to show up, and I believe they will.
I hope they do. We got a great text from Fred in Texarkana this morning. When Arkansas wins Saturday, what's LSU's excuse going to be? It used to be, we just played Alabama. It's too cold. It's like 68 at kickoff. Like, you could not ask for better weather on Saturday night here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. But LSU, if they do fall, their fans will find an excuse. I'll tell you who didn't give me an excuse is West Ark Plumbing. And I can say this from personal experience. They installed a bunch of washer and dryer stuff, sink stuff, bathroom stuff. Really appreciate Wayne, Bud, Brad, Robin, Devin. I'm a guy that asks a lot of questions because I don't have any answers when it comes to any house-related stuff. Luckily, they walked me through every step of the way. They've been around since 1993 doing water, sewer, gas, grease. You can call them at 646-5151. That's 646-5151 for any of those water, sewer, gas, and grease needs. Again, they're a community supporter, and the money you pay goes right back in the community. West Ark says no to crack in the pipes and your plumber. That's West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services. Now, you mentioned, Christian, the monumental game that we have in front of us. For Sam Pittman, like, they're going to be 3-1 if they win this game in the Southeastern Conference, which they haven't been since 2011. Sam got them to 2-1 for the first time since 2011. the hot seat stuff has pretty much subsided. And just for him as a coach and the coaching staff, these players that just got kicked up and down last year with the close losses, you got to find a way to win on Saturday night. And I think they're going to. Again, I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns. I don't think I don't think LSU is going to be able to handle the intensity that Arkansas is going to bring based on them using all of their emotions this past Saturday night, Christian. Maybe I'm off on that, but I was ecstatic that LSU found a way to win this game this past Saturday.
You got it for Tennessee. I mean, why not get up for your rival? And yes, they are a rival. There's a trophy on the line, and they're ranked in the top 10. I just think it's a huge game, and I don't see any reason why. It's a night game. Why you can't be as loud and rowdy as you were for Tennessee. And I think the defense playing well, the offense kind of starting to get it going in clutch moments, and the crowd getting into it. I think all that is going to play in your favor against LSU. LSU's good enough to beat you, no doubt. But they're not a typical LSU team. They don't have that stud wide receiver or stud running back. I just think it's there for the taking right now.
6 o'clock Saturday night right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com and our Hit That Line Now app. Hey, whether small or large, River City Coating can handle all of your powder coating needs. Not just a layer of paint. It becomes part of the metal and can withstand chemicals, abrasions, and more. When you need your metals to last, get powder coating with River City Coatings. Over 25 years of experience. And this is an investment that will be worth your time. Patio furniture, rims, brake calipers, farm equipment parts, and more. No project is too big or too small. Call 471-7675. That's 471-7675 for River City Coatings. Hour 2 coming up. Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered, joins us next.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and 0 due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
It's Ty Richardson. We are live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, and thank God for Gail Rainwater. Gail, I've got my sister's wedding. She's approved one of the suits you picked out for me. Man, I really appreciate all you've done for me these last couple of years because I've been to like 40-some-odd weddings.
Glad that she approved it. We always get you looking sharp. I know you get a lot of compliments on everything. We appreciate it.
When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you.
Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, where it's fun to look good.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you could restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be much cooler with highs in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Mostly clear tonight with lows in the mid to upper 40s. Sunny for Tuesday with highs in the mid 60s to mid 70s. Clear skies tomorrow night. Areas of frost in the north. Lows in the mid 30s to near 40. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3.
McFadden. Say goodbye. Darren McFadden, 80 yards, touchdown.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those. Oh.
It's hour 2 of the Morning Rush here on a Hot Take Monday. We're going to be joined shortly by our friend Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered. He was here 2 weeks ago when Arkansas defeated the Tennessee Volunteers. He was in the house last weekend when LSU defeated Ole Miss. He's been around the country, took in the Alabama-Georgia game, seen a lot of good college football, some great college football this weekend. We'll talk about that with him coming up in just a bit. Christian went off on the Dallas Cowboys earlier, gave a couple hot takes. One of my hot takes this morning is I think Lane Kiffin is gone. He's going to Gainesville. That's why Ole Miss has struggled through these first few games offensively. And it's always brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. Chris, Lee J, their entire team can help you out with the Brinkley RVs, the Grand Design, and the Forest River housed at Wheels RV. They have that lifetime warranty on every new RV so you can camp with confidence. Stop in and see why Wheels RV has been voted the best RV dealer year after year. 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
All right, we welcome in our friend Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered, travels across the college football landscape in the Southeastern Conference. And, Chris, you've had a whale of a few trips thus far. I just want you to be blunt, be honest. Where does Arkansas's stadium atmosphere stack up against the likes of Death Valley, against Bryant? Where is Arkansas amongst your travels thus far this season?
Well, Ty, first things first, man, appreciate you having me on. It was great seeing you just over a week or so ago in Fayetteville and had an absolute blast. I mean, you know, like you mentioned, we just spent the weekend in Death Valley and Baton Rouge. I will say just off the jump, I've never experienced anything like that. And I'm trying not to have recency bias because I was just there 48 hours or so ago. But I've never experienced anything like Death Valley in my entire life as not just a college football fan, Ty, but a sports fan as well. I mean, that place, from start to finish, the in-game production, I mean, obviously you saw the environment on TV. It was incredible, unreal. The loudest stadium I've ever heard. I would say this, though. I think DWR ranks a lot higher than people want to give it credit for. I thought the in-game atmosphere was electric. I really did. I thought it made a difference in the ball game. I think it helped push Arkansas over the edge to score that upset over Tennessee. And I think it made a difference late in that football game. I think it maybe contributed to some of Nico's struggles. You know, you saw a couple false starts in that game. I mean, the crowd, while it may not, be the same in number as a place like LSU or Bryant-Denny, I mean, I think it's right up there with some of the best environments that certainly I've seen this season and, some of the best environments in all of college football. So, again, no matter where you rank it, I would say DWR, my experience there, Ty, was one of one, and also great people. Obviously, it was great to link up with you, and certainly that's one of the biggest difference makers is the people we run into week after week. So, I think it's a very underrated venue, and certainly we saw it play into that game against Tennessee. Could play a big factor, and I would expect it to play a big factor this weekend against LSU.
There's been a couple factors in the SEC, a couple outcomes, I should say, that have, I think, surprised people. I was surprised that South Carolina took Alabama to the brink this week, and I thought they learned their lesson after Vanderbilt. What should we attribute this so far to, Chris? Not just in the Southeastern Conference, but in all of college football and some of the upsets that we've seen.
Ty, I think for all the negatives or maybe annoyances over the offseason, right, we get really tired of talking about the transfer portal and NIL and just the chaos of college football throughout the calendar year. That's the thing, Ty, that I look at that I attribute to this. I just think the parity across the sport has never been greater than it is right now, right? And I think teams like Alabama. Is it going to stay that way?
Chris, is this a one-off year, or do you think it stays that way moving forward?
I think it probably stays that way, Ty, just because I think retaining depth is going to be more difficult than it's ever been. Like, I don't think guys want to stick around anymore. And, for example, you've got 5 or 6 guys starting in your secondary. That 7th or 8th guy, they don't want to be that 7th or 8th guy anymore. They want to go somewhere else where they can play immediately. So I think the talent is almost more evenly dispersed. I know, again, there's always going to be some teams out there that have got much more talent than others, but I think, it's how you're able to see a team like a Vanderbilt, right? What did they do? They went and got a game changer at the quarterback position. They got a couple guys at wide receiver. They've all of a sudden, it feels like, flipped their program over the course of one off season, right? I mean, we're seeing this all across college football. I think it's something, to your point, Ty. I think it's here to stay. Now, are we going to get this crazy of seasons and, the number one team in the country lose to a Vanderbilt and, Alabama struggling the way? Are we going to get that every single year? I'm not going to go that far, but I think the parity, the increase of parity across college football, certainly the SEC, yeah, I think that's going to be here to stay, and I think the portal's the biggest reason why. I think the talent is more evenly dispersed across all these different teams.
We're talking with Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered, who travels across the landscape of the conference, takes in different games. He's going to be in Knoxville this weekend for the third Saturday of October. Chris, I do want to ask you about that game at some point, but let's talk about what's going on this week. Fayetteville, Arkansas, LSU. LSU coming off an emotional win, a game that you took in on Saturday night. How do you – bounce back's not the right phrase, but how do you get ready for Arkansas after a win like that if you're LSU, and how much does Arkansas maybe benefit due to the way that game ended up transpiring?
Yeah, Ty, I mean, if you're LSU, you better be locked in, because I can tell you this. As good as that environment was a couple of weeks ago in Fayetteville, Ty, I'm almost a little bit envious that I can't make a return trip, or I'm not going to be making a return trip to experience what it's going to be like this Saturday night. I mean,
it'll be better. It'll be better. I bet you anything, Chris.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be even more raucous. I mean, I think I was told by you, Ty, and many others at the tailgate, hey, this one's going to be really good. But if they find a way to beat Tennessee, just wait till LSU comes to town. So I know Arkansas fans are going to show up and show out and make that place a living hell for Garrett Nussmeier and company. But I think certainly, Ty, there's a benefit to any time you're catching a team off an emotional game like that. Like you said, it's not really bounce back, but it's just you do have to essentially get yourself up off the mat, refocus, relock in, and go out and try to put your best foot forward and play your best football. So, and I think LSU still – I mean, listen, Ty, one of the reasons that game was so entertaining, LSU is the best, worst, good, bad, inconsistent, chaotic team I've ever watched. I mean, they can't make up their mind whether they want to be a team outside the top 25 or a top 5 college football playoff contender. It's like they show moments of brilliance, and it kind of reflects in their quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, that game he made some just baffling decisions. But late in the game, he made some of the biggest throws he's probably made in his entire career and won them that football game. Almost won and lost that football game for them, but certainly won it at the end. So, I think for Arkansas, I think you can take advantage of that. I think if you can get off to a quick start, obviously, be huge. And, LSU, it's just tough to play up to that, up to the level you need, especially going on the road. It's a different challenge and a different environment. So, I like Arkansas's chances in the game. I haven't necessarily locked in a pick yet, but I wouldn't doubt the Hogs for a second at home. I think Travis Williams, that defense, can really cause some problems for Garrett Nussmeier, especially if he's inconsistent again. And I think Arkansas at home. The status of Taylor Green, obviously, you guys could fill me in. That's going to be a big key in the game. And can he go? And if he's not, what does the game plan look like offensively around Malachi Singleton? But the Hogs at home, man, I would say don't underestimate Woo Pig in a game like this.
Last 4 games have been decided by 3 points. I think it might be a little different outcome on Saturday night. Now, my pick of Arkansas winning by 2 touchdowns is hinged on the idea of Talon playing. If he doesn't play, my thought process changes entirely. Have not gotten an update. We'll hear from Coach Pittman later on at 12. You'll get some updates on halftime and Ruskin and Zach. Maybe Ruskin and Zach. What Sam Pittman had to say, not just about the status of Talon Green, but this game this week. As we're talking with Chris Phillips, again, SEC Unfiltered here. Chris, I want to ask you about Lane Kiffin. They've lost 2 games. I heard Jackson Dart was just like, yeah, we got to win out. I think his mind's in Gainesville, man. I really do. This feels to me like Lincoln Riley his last year in Norman, where you were so confused why the offense wasn't what it should be. I mean, they got players everywhere. Juice Wells, Harris, Parrish. I mean, there's no reason that team shouldn't put up 40 a game. You think he's going to Gainesville after this year?
That's a great question, Ty. Gun to head right now, I think if they lose another one, I mean, with the schedule they've got remaining, I think they're going to lose at least one more. I think probably so. I really do. I mean, it does feel like something is off, Ty, to your point. Now, again, we don't know. It's, an impossible venture to get inside the mind of a Lane Kiffin, but I think there's a good shot he will be gone. Yeah, I mean, something doesn't feel right. Something seems off. And I asked the question, Ty, before the season, what would be the more likely outcome of him getting to Gainesville? If they were to make a college football playoff, win a few games, don't even have to win the national title, but in that scenario, or they go 8-4 and miss it, and maybe Lane looks around and says, like, you know what, I can't do it here. Like, what I'm trying to accomplish cannot be accomplished. I think the way their season's trending right now, I think it's more likely on the 8-4 path, and I think Lane Kiffin, you got to think he's going to look around and say, you know what, great situation, great place, I'm the king of the city, but I want more. And I just think Lane Kiffin's a guy who probably wants more. Now, again, I'm guessing we all are, right? We're all trying to figure out, again, what he's thinking. But it definitely feels like something's off, and that something being off might be him ending up in the state of Florida in a couple months.
By the way, Ole Miss has not won in Fayetteville, I believe, since 2008. Lane Kiffin has never won in Fayetteville, so that game's going to be big on November the 2nd before they host the Georgia Bulldogs, hoping they look ahead for that game this week. Chris, as we wrap you up, we really appreciate you joining us here this morning. I just wonder your thoughts on what's going on in Tuscaloosa with Kalen DeBoer. You're going to be at a game where he's coaching this weekend, third Saturday in October, a game that Alabama dominated for years until Tennessee won 2 years ago. So you lose to Vanderbilt. You should have lost to South Carolina. I think Tennessee's winning this game this weekend. So if you're the Alabama fan base, after beating Georgia, where are you at with your head football coach and Kalen DeBoer?
Yeah, it's very testy times in Tuscaloosa, which is so interesting, Ty, because you mentioned. I mean, I was down there a few weeks ago, and it's the vibes were so high, right, for that Georgia weekend. You get that win over Georgia, even with the bad second half, and it's weird. It's like something just changed in that second half for Alabama, and since then they have not been the same. This is life after Nick Saban, Ty. There's a reason why people question, hey, he's the GOAT. Like Kalen DeBoer, as good of a coach as he is, he's not the GOAT. Right, at least yet. He hadn't earned that status yet, and I think you're seeing that with I'll put it to you this way, Ty. Alabama's still Alabama. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like you ever watched the movie Hercules when Hercules became mortal.
Yeah,
I mean he's still Hercules, but he can be killed now. That's kind of what I feel like with Alabama. They're no longer immortal. They're no longer untouchable, and that's what that little man on the sidelines, Nick Saban, the GOAT. That's what he made them. He made them what felt like untouchable. Beating them was an impossible task. I think all of a sudden now, this as well as I do, Ty, the biggest challenge of beating Alabama was, all right, we got to get over the fact of the logo and the coach, and we can get beat twice this week, and we can get beat before we ever take the field. I just don't know that level of fear and intimidation is there anymore with Alabama football. And certainly their play on the field isn't scaring anyone. So I'm right there with you, Ty. I'm going to be at this game. I am picking Tennessee in this football game. I think it's going to be the game that Nico and company get right on the offensive side, and I think things are going to start to click for them. And listen, Alabama's kind of been a remedy for, if you're struggling, I mean, South Carolina almost went in there and beat them. If that tells you anything.
In Tuscaloosa, not in Columbia, in Tuscaloosa.
In Tuscaloosa. Yeah, in Tuscaloosa. So, Knoxville's going to be rocking. Neyland's going to be a madhouse, and I just put it to you this way. I don't think it's going to be 16 or 17 or however many years it was before Tennessee beats Alabama. Again, I think it's going to happen on Saturday night.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you joining us this morning. I know you joined us for a tailgate last weekend. We catered in Sassy's. I was texting Alan last week. I was like, man, that's the best bit. I hadn't had their banana pudding in years, but luckily we got to take it in. So you ate your fill of Sassy's this past weekend too, didn't you?
Oh, I did. Yeah, listen, man, it's been a heck of a time. The tour, I've been blessed to see the run of games are on right now. I was talking to my family over the weekend that, I don't know that we're ever going to get this kind of experience ever again. And I got a weird feeling Tennessee, Alabama is going to deliver on Saturday night. So it's, can't wait to get back to Fayetteville sooner rather than later. And, but no, it's been a blast, man.
Chris, appreciate you joining us this morning.
You're the man. Appreciate you. We'll do it again soon.
All right, that is Chris Phillips again, SEC Unfiltered. You can follow him on social media. Does a great job covering the Southeastern Conference. As Alan does a great job with making barbecues, whether it's brisket, whether it's ribs, whether it's nachos. I really enjoy their honey sriracha wings. I mean, they are fantastic. And the brisket melt is, I was telling someone about it. I was telling Jen, one of our coworkers, about it last week. She had not had it yet. She was taking her dad by at Sassy's, the original Red House location. I was like, you need to get this, but it honestly is a two-person meal. Whatever you get at Sassy's, it's awesome. Don't sleep on the banana pudding. They have these little, they're not pancake pops, but they're these little sweet potato. They're so good. Anything you get that Alan makes at either the Red House location or at the Sassy's Barbecue Grill location off Weddington is going to be fantastic. And with LSU this weekend, maybe you're scrambling. Hey, where do I get my tailgating food? Where do I get that at? Well, we elected to go with Sassy's. It was awesome. Sassy'sBarbecue.com. Happy hour from 3 to 6. Whether it's barbecue, catfish, burgers, and more, no one does it better than Sassy's. Eat, drink, and be sassy. Christian, you and I both love college football. So think about this. Chris has attended the LSU-Ole Miss game last weekend, which went into overtime. He attended the Alabama game where Ryan Williams delivered at the tail end. Wow. He went to the Arkansas-Tennessee game. And there's one more game I'm missing that it ended in dramatic fashion that he attended. SEC football is the best. And I think I agree with him, man. The parity is wider than I thought it would. I just wish Texas played someone this year. They really don't. They get A&M, they get Arkansas, and Georgia, and that's about it. They got given a cupcake schedule from Birmingham, and frankly, it ticks me off here on a Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, those are some great games, and I agree with you on Texas, but they're going to have to step it up a little bit. They're a great team, going on the road at Arkansas, beating Georgia, and A&M's definitely going to be gunning for them. So if they're able to get through those 3 games, I mean, credit goes out to them, but it's going to be tough.
Yep, I have Georgia winning the game this weekend. Texas can prove me wrong. They've done it before.
Vanderbilt, too.
Yeah, that Vanderbilt's a lot tougher now than maybe it was initially on paper before the season. Hey, this hour, we're talking about Arkansas game day this Saturday. We're live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and really appreciate Buzz Sawyer and Sawyer Sunrooms sponsoring our Arkansas game day coverage all season long. Buzz, not only does he call Northside Grizzly games, but he loves hog football. He's been in the business since 1990, locally owned and operated, whether it's sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. New motorized louved pergolas. 100% financing available. It doesn't matter if the job is small or large. They have licensed and bonded and are insured on all of their projects. They do commercial, residential, lifetime products, and warranties, plus the quality workmanship you always expect from Sawyers. Servicing the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for everything outside the house. Check them out online at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. More of the Morning Rush, your SEC update, is next.
Streaming live from HitThatLive.com.
This is former Razorback Sonny Wing, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The nation is going to be talking about Arkansas.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage. My friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I got a good recommendation from a friend. You go to your Google reviews right now, you guys are at 4.9 for First Financial Mortgage.
Yeah, we've got the most Google reviews by any lending company in the River Valley by more than double. We really pride ourselves on those Google reviews, try to make everyone's experience really well, and that way they'll refer us to other people. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
You had a wild weekend of college football, including the conclusion of LSU and Ole Miss in Baton Rouge.
Pump fake. Nussmeier goes back. Shoulder. Touchdown.
Kelly said, you know what, we're going for it all right here. Pump fake. Nussmeier finds Kyron Lacey in the back of the end zone. You heard Sean McDonough of ESPN on the call. That was a really, really good college football game with the Tigers coming out on top. You also had the Oregon and Ohio State game. That was a great conclusion. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. But I really do think that Lane Kiffin is on his way out of Oxford. I think that he is gone. Here's what he said following the loss to the Tigers.
I just said this sucks, guys. I feel for you. It's a hard one, and you got to buy. You don't get to play again, so I don't really got a lot of positive for you. Just because it's like it's easier if you get beat by a couple scores. I mean, this is like our game, man. We have the game, and we let it slip away. You know, to go into the bye, whatever it is, 6-1, you know, in really good shape and get healthy. And these are hard. This one will be around forever.
Chris, I don't know if you watched his press conference, but you kept hearing LSU in the background because fans rushed the field. I don't know where the Tigers visiting conference setup is for coaches and players, but a lot of what he had to say was droned out by drunk LSU fans on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big win for them. You kind of said it, Ty. I mean, you just thought that they were going to find a way to lose that game, which kind of is the case when they go to Baton Rouge. It's always a close game.
It's usually the case when they come to Fayetteville, too, so hopefully it stays that way, Christian.
Yeah, that gives me hope. You know, neither team looked great, and it's going to be a type of game, I think, Saturday, where if Talon doesn't play on Saturday, I think it's going to have to be a really defensive game. I think it's going to have to be really low scoring.
Let me be clear about that. You bring that up, and we're not wishing that on Talon Green, of course, but if Talon doesn't play on Saturday, I don't think Arkansas wins. I think your defense does just enough to keep them in the game, but I don't expect the Razorbacks to have the final outcome. Now, I'm not wishing for that. If Talon plays, I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns, and he's healthy. I should clarify that. If he's healthy and he plays, I think Arkansas wins this game by 2 touchdowns. If he's not, I don't expect the Razorbacks to win. I'm just being truthful about how I feel about this game. All right, other SEC outcomes. Texas drills OU 34-3. Still hadn't played anybody. Close one between Georgia and Mississippi State. I think Bulldogs might be looking ahead to next week. They won 41-31. South Carolina almost beats Alabama. They fall 27-25 in Tuscaloosa. Tennessee beats Florida in overtime. Didn't expect that, but I guess they finally won. Missouri beats Massachusetts, and Vanderbilt defeats Kentucky. 4 wins for the Commodores. Go Doors. It's a big pro Doors Pro Doors show.
Are you glad we don't play them this year? Or?
Vanderbilt? Oh, that would have been, that would not be a game that you could just cross off. Arkansas does have a tough stretch outside of Mississippi State and Louisiana Tech to close out the season. All right, that is your SEC update brought to you by our friends at Burn Pools and Spas. Clay Henry joins us momentarily in just a bit. The perfect hot tub is waiting for you right now at Burn Pools and Spas with their warehouse clearance. So whether you're wanting relaxation or quality time with the family, they've got you covered with the Hot Springs Hot Tub world best-selling brand. Over 100 hot tubs in stock. They're ready to be delivered, and they're on sale, starting at just $4.99. Payments as low as $58 a month. Burton Pools and Spas Hot Tub Warehouse Clearance Sale in Springdale, Greenland, and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, they don't just sell hot tubs. Burton Pools builds long-term relationships. Check them out at burtonpools.com. I mentioned the Ohio State game. If you missed it on Saturday night, Ohio State driving, a chance to kick a field goal, and then inexplicably, Will Howard runs out the clock.
3rd and 20. Howard. A lot of time coming off. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out. And that'll do it. Oh, my goodness.
Ryan Day, you heard Ian Eagle. I said Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge on the call. What do you do there if you're Ryan Day? You've got to be so angry about what, because you set it up for at least your chance to win, and you didn't even get that opportunity, Big C.
Yeah, you can't let that happen. I know what he was trying to do there. Just didn't have enough time to do it. And, in the heat of the moment, you kind of lose track of time. Time may slow down a little bit, whatever the case may be. Dak did something similar to that in the playoffs against San Francisco. Dak actually had more time than Howard had.
Howard did.
And they still weren't able to get the ball snapped. So I'm not totally sure what the deal was there. They had a timeout, but they didn't have time to call it. You hate to see the game end like that because you always want to see a team at least attempt the field goal in that situation. But the Oregon defense stepped up when they had to and made Howard kind of do something that he probably normally wouldn't do.
No, they were not able to succeed, unfortunately, for the Buckeye fans. And we rejoice gracefully here on a Hot Take Monday. Always brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. We're also brought to you by our friends at Farm Credit. So maybe it's time for you to spruce up your existing home, build a brand new one. You can trust the experts at Farm Credit in Western Arkansas, help you choose the financing options best for you. Visit myaglender.com or drop by one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today. Get started on building family memories. 25 locations, myaglender.com for Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. So we've had a good show. First hour and a half or so, we talked with Kevin McPherson, a little basketball, as we took in some action this weekend at both Hot Springs and in Pine Bluff. One of the things I've advocated for this morning, this tip-off is great. You got Kansas in a week and a half, right? Not this Friday, but the following Friday prior to the Mississippi State game in Starkville. Keep this going, guys, please, and gals. Play it. I don't know. I'm not the El Dorado, Mountain Home. I'm just thinking about our listening area and people that text us. Fort Smith, find venues that could house that many people and do this next year. I'm talking about for next year. I'm not saying, hey, let's try and game plan something before the season, but that would be awesome for the community of Arkansas. There's a lot of kids around Pine Bluff, a lot of kids around Hot Springs that don't have the financial means to make it to Bud Walton Arena. Great event. They gave away 5,000 shoes. This was just awesome. I know Cal and his team really enjoyed taking it in, and that's probably the smallest venue they'll play in all season long. And cannot wait for that Kansas game. Can't wait for the rest of the season, but really strong start for John Calipari and this basketball team, at least from a state standpoint, and you hope this continues on. They play in Little Rock later this season, and you hope next year and for years to come, this will be something that they continue to do with this Arkansas basketball program. All right, Clay joins us coming up in just a bit. He's at the Fly Shop. We'll get his thoughts on the college football weekend. But before we talk to him, I want to talk to all the purchasing agents, the mill managers, the maintenance managers, and the industrial electricians out there. One of the nation's largest industrial power transmission inventories is located right here in Arkansas. That's In Stock Parts in Fort Smith. They have a distribution warehouse that's packed full of gear reducers, shaft couplings, electric motors, starters, variable frequency drives, bearings, belts, chains, and more. Customers of In Stock Parts enjoy competitive pricing, great customer service, plus less downtime. Their local inventory will get you back up and running fast. Plus, they also offer in-house gearbox repair. In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage. You can check them out anytime at InStockParts.com. In Stocks Parts, your industrial parts resource. If we don't have it, we will find it for you at In Stock Parts in Fort Smith, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage. Mr. Henry joins us when we return on a Hot Take Monday.
Hey, this is Cam Little, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hudson Clark with his 5th career interception.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors. Hunt longer in the comfort of a Lazy Man box blind, sold locally at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
What's new and what's on sale at Wheeler Power Sports? Many new bikes, quads, and side-by-sides from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Polaris are arriving weekly. New to the dealership, the Polaris Ranger XT 1500, Kawasaki Ridge with a full cabin, HVAC, and the all-new Brute Force 450. Plus, we have rebates and dealer discounts totaling as much as $6,000 off certain side-by-sides. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Woo pig suey, and it's fantastic when people call it. Now, if things aren't going well, sometimes they yell woo pig suey, and that isn't real good. That's bad luck. All in all, they go suey.
Jalen Green with a snap. Plenty of protection down the seam. Got a man complete. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Luke has. There's your touchdown play of 43 yards, and Arkansas is a PAT away from a tie.
Please rate and review the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Give us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's always good to chat with our friend Clay Henry, and we usually do it on Fridays, but we're going to get a chance to catch up with him a little earlier this week as he joins us momentarily. Before we chat with Clay, I want to tell you about our friends at Oaklawn Sports. Oaklawn, it's always betting season, whether it's college football, NFL, MLB playoffs, you can do it all at Arkansas's best sporting app. You can even bet on the a variety of things, not just the major sports. They got a bunch of other ones as well. If you sign up today, you can qualify for the second chance on your bet up to $250. All you got to do is make a bet up to at least $10, and they match it up to $250. Debit card, credit card, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, on-site cash, whatever way you want to go about it, they can help you with Oaklawn Sports. It's simple, it's easy, and it's easier to withdraw your balance than ever before. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Download the app in the Apple Store or on Google Play. Clay, your column on hitthatline.com brought to you by our friends at the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders, which just had their stuff this past weekend, the weekend before, and Arkansas Game and Fish is up on hitthatline.com. I would encourage every one of you that haven't read it just yet, which most of you hadn't, just because it got published, to do so at some point this week. This is a big week for college football, Clay. You've got Texas and Georgia. You've got Tennessee and Alabama. And, of course, you've got the game everyone's looking forward to, LSU in town, 6 o'clock, the battle for the Golden Boot.
Yeah, the good part of the season is rolling through here. And I thoroughly enjoyed Saturday because didn't have a game an Arkansas game, so I could kind of just take in other games. I got my smoker going, got a brisket going, and I had a great Saturday. And there's going to be a lot to watch, and ABC's kind of hammered home. They're doing these triple headers, and you also got games on ESPN. They have really rolled out the coverage for the SEC, and it's been a lot of fun.
Clay, this is a remarkable game note tidbit that this is the first time Arkansas has hosted a consecutive top 10 opponents in Fayetteville. And you're a Razorback historian. Are you surprised that I know they played in Little Rock, I know they play games on the road, but that just seems odd that they've never had 2 consecutive top 10 matchups in Fayetteville, and for the first time in 2024, they have that.
Well, they haven't played too many back-to-back SEC games. The way it's worked, the schedule maker hasn't done that. And I mean, top 10 is a noteworthy accomplishment for anybody. So, as we roll into this day of the SEC with 16 teams, I think it can happen more often. You're adding 2 teams in Oklahoma and Texas that are often in the top 10. So that's 2 more potential candidates. But just think about it. You have non-conference games woven through your schedule, so there's some reasons for all that. But yeah, this is unique, and it sure is a lot of fun for the season ticket holders.
Oh, yeah. They're happy about the games remaining. Clay, you think about
night games, too. Just think about that.
Exactly. You think about the games remaining. I don't know what time Ole Miss is going to be, but you still have that on your schedule. Texas Longhorns at 11 o'clock. That's on ABC, if I remember that correctly. So a lot of marquee games the rest of the way. And bring up Texas. Texas drills Oklahoma this weekend. Clay, they were given a gift of a schedule from the conference office based on who they have left. They still got to go to Arkansas, of course. They've got to go to Texas A&M. But do we really know how good the Longhorns are based on the teams they played through, I think, 7 games?
No, that was a crippled Oklahoma team,
Yeah.
as weak as they've gotten of late. And, the offensive line is suspect. They had 5 wide receivers out. They lost their quarterback in the portal to Oregon. And the 2 quarterbacks that they're going with they're basically both rookies, babies, and this is a strong Texas team. But there was really nothing that they could do in that game to prove their mettle. I'm talking about Texas, because I didn't expect Oklahoma to put up a good fight. I mean, they were shelled by Tennessee, and we know Tennessee, it may not be as great as we first thought. They had them 25-3 in the fourth quarter, and Texas, got some points late. But it's, I think the verdict is still out on Texas. I mean, they're gonna make the 12-team playoff, barring a collapse. But you wouldn't, they're going to find out a little bit more about themselves, as they go to Georgia. Or is Georgia going to Austin?
Georgia's going to Austin, correct. Yeah. And I misspoke. They played 6 games.
But the schedules, there's some imbalance in this SEC schedule, and I guess as long as you're going to just rotate things out every year. I was talking to Rocky Felker for a Where Are They Now piece for Hogs Illustrated, the old Mississippi State coach that was offensive coordinator during the Danny Ford years, and got Arkansas the '95 championship. And he's a Mississippi State guy, retired, but he pointed to Mississippi State's schedule, where I think he said they got to go to Texas, to Georgia, to Ole Miss.
It's awful.
There's one more into Alabama, and then you look at Ole Miss,
Tennessee too.
Yeah, Tennessee. There's there's no no balance at all when you look at Ole Miss's schedule, and they've got one game like that. I guess it's going to happen from time to time, and somebody's going to get a cakewalk.
Yeah, and Ole Miss got a cakewalk. Missouri got a cakewalk.
Texas got a cakewalk.
And Texas got a cakewalk, undoubtedly. Well, Clay Bradford in Van Buren texting in that he loves your columns. You've got one up, as I just said, about 5 or 10 minutes ago now on hitthatline.com.
Yeah.
Just kind of give a brief outlook on what you wrote about this week.
Yeah, I have to ask for forgiveness because I'm a sinner. I went to church Sunday and it was about love thy neighbor, and I just don't love some of my neighbors. I mean, I just y'all know my hatred of Texas, and you're not supposed to use that word. So I kind of covered it all. I went into the dirty play by Tennessee, trying to think of another play like that. There's some stuff in there that it causes you to kind of your pulse kind of warms a little bit, heightens. So I think everybody that knows me will appreciate my confession. So,
Clay, where does LSU fall on the hatred scale for you? This is a game that has been really, really great over the years, both sides. I mean, there's been some epic wins for LSU. There's been some epic wins for Arkansas. Of course, the Tigers have gotten the best of the Razorback in the season series. But is LSU squarely at 2, or where do you kind of have them in the pecking order?
I probably have Ole Miss at 2.
Okay.
And LSU's in there, but I think it's about your personal experiences and how they stack up. And there's some people that it's Texas A&M, right?
For me, it's Texas A&M, but I think the majority of my friends, Clay, my age, would say LSU is number 2. And I would think someone threw a whiskey bottle at your head, right?
No, there was some of that, but there was also, there my daughters had beer dumped on them, and
Jeez.
I think it was '93. They were sitting at the 50-yard line in the LSU section, and they got beer dumped on them as they were celebrating a runaway victory, and so yeah. So we'll listen to them. Their dislike for LSU is probably a little stronger than mine.
I think it just varies. You mentioned your experience. I think for what Chuck always talks about, it really depends on what part of the state. Like, I didn't realize there was such a hatred for Oklahoma on the western part of our state, Clay, until I moved here. And then that is I'm from Tommy and several other of my friends have lived in kind of the River Valley area. And then I think it just depends. Like, I think there's a growing hatred in Northwest Arkansas for Missouri because they continue to beat Arkansas, and there's more Missouri connection. So I think the experiences and also kind of where you are in the state dictates maybe who you have in the hatred scale, the pecking order. Again, Clay Henry is with us here in the Morning Rush, kind enough to join us here on a Monday. You can check out his latest column on hitthatline.com as well. Clay, I want to ask you about some SEC teams. So we saw LSU come off an emotional win. They'll be here Saturday night, of course. But what are your thoughts on Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss? I've got a feeling this is like a Lincoln Riley last year in Norman, that he's not focused. I think he's going to end up in Gainesville. Where do you stand on where Kiffin and Ole Miss are through this half of the season?
Yeah, you have to maybe decide is Florida a better job than Ole Miss? And when I say that, facilities, ability to fund, NIL, all those things are suspect right now at Florida. So just because you say, hey, he might go to Florida, what's he leaving? I mean, he's got his collective worked out, right? I mean,
that's very true.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that's a better job right now. And I say that 2 or 3 weeks ago I was watching the Game Day show, and Nick Saban kind of went through, I guess Florida was about to play someone that they were picking the game, and he said that what Billy Napier has at Florida isn't he's not operating from a position of strength, that their facilities are needed updated, the football workout area, all those things that are, kind of the frills, the bells and whistles that they're behind at Florida. They just spent a whole lot of money on their baseball, but they have not spent any money on football. They're talking about it. Their collective isn't strong. So why would Lane run to that? So I think that you have to understand, what are the good jobs? What may have been a good job 15 years ago may not be the same type right now.
That's very true. Especially with the ever-changing landscape of college athletics, you just never know. A thought from 5, 10, even 15 years ago that, hey, this job is clearly better. You just don't know how much money's in the coffers. So I think that's
right.
That's a fair point to make. Clay, what about Alabama? Kalen DeBoer, they narrowly survive at home to South Carolina. That was an odd game where the Gamecocks had every chance to win and just couldn't figure it out. What's your feeling about the Crimson Tide heading this weekend into Knoxville and Neyland Stadium?
Well, I think that right now you wish they were on your schedule. You play ball control and make it tough on Jalen Milroe, and he's going to throw it up. He's done that for several games in a row. Ill-advised throws. He looks like a dangerous runner, but he's not equipped to run that offense. And they're asking him to do things that aren't in his skill set. But the main problem with Alabama isn't their offense, it's their defense. And they are not the same Alabama. First of all, they've got some injuries in the secondary. They're playing young players. But they don't look at cornerback the way Alabama teams have looked. And there's a obvious reason. The last 20 years, the cornerback coach at Alabama was Nick Saban. He personally coached the cornerbacks. There's probably never been a head coach that concentrated on that position as much as he did. And they're not the same. They don't play the same. They're not the same experience level. and they're not going to be the same going forward. I mean, they're not going to have – they can't go hire somebody from anywhere across the country that can coach corners the way he coached them. And that's what I notice. There's open receivers. They miss tackles, and they're going to give up plays. And, I don't think he's coming out of retirement. I think he likes what he's doing.
He's good at it, too. I really have enjoyed listening to him.
Yeah, and he's a different person to talk to now that he's not coaching the team. But I do not see the same level of lockdown at cornerback for this Alabama team.
I'm looking this up in real time, Clay. Andrew in Fort Smith texting us, and kind of last name for you, let it go. I think that Garrett Nussmeier and Taylor Green played each other in high school when Garrett was at Flower Mound and Talon was at Louisville. So
They're from the same neck of the woods.
Yeah,
that's right.
So you might have a little bit of a high school rivalry of sorts this weekend.
Quarterbacks don't play each other. I mean, they compete against each other, but they don't play each other. So I mean, it's more noteworthy if you have a defensive player that it's like they really go to head to head. But yeah, so hey, Nussmeier's last two throws in that game were fantastic.
That fourth down. I mean, Clay, he let him, for those that didn't watch the game, Nussmeier throws this ball in before his wide receiver gets, and it just hits him. I think it was Lacey that caught.
There's a hand reaching out that missed it by 2 inches.
Yeah. What a
window was unbelievable.
What a game that was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana
and then the back shoulder throw in overtime.
Maybe it got away with a little OPI, but that's they weren't going to call it at that stretch of the game. Clay, we appreciate you jump on early at this, man. And
thanks, Ty.
We'll hear from you on halftime later this week.
Okay, thank you.
All right, appreciate our friend Clay Henry. His latest column up on hitthatline.com. Really good stuff, and Clay had some fun with it, as you heard just there as he's joined us. Appreciate everyone joining us today here on the Morning Rush. Big C and me, Tommy back with us on Wednesday. They're at the Arkansas Broadcasters Association convention the next 2 days, getting some work done, making some connections, and hopefully keeping the ESPN Arkansas name unstained, which we know they're doing. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by WT Equipment. As the focus moves to the grass on the field, it's time to shop WT Equipment's closeout deal like the Hustler zero-turn mowers. These machines are built like tanks and they drive like sports cars with fabricated welded steel decks and all the power you need and no warranty to match. Don't settle for that cheap stuff. The big box store. Come see WT Equipment, and they'll guide you to the right mower for you and your budget. Hurry in while supplies and deals last at WT Equipment, your partner in progress. Appreciate everyone joining us here on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV. Mr. Matt Jones, Mr. Phil Elson, and halftime is next.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and pillows.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page brand.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $3 million. Why should you care? Because this $3 million plus prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added